kind of struggling a little bit to explain this to people because there's a lot going on, and it's generally just kind of having an overall picture of price action. And there's a couple of trades that we're in and a couple of examples that I can give today to maybe help explain um, how, taking into account the candle bodies and where they're closing, is really helping um, increase my success rate instead of just kind of trading patterns and key levels, making sure we're paying attention to the whole picture of the overall price action at the time. And it is really just being patient and having to wait on candle bodies, and hopefully this trade will be me an example. I didn't catch this trade because I was bullish, and I'm in Euro CHF at the moment, and NZD CHF, so I'm kind of watching those. But we're just going to talk a little bit about this, and I can give you some examples at exactly what I'm looking at. So we're going to do this from a top-down analysis perspective, right? And there's a reason for this. So this is a trade that I was looking at when we finally get a break and a retest of this bottom level on Euro AUD. But we're just going to delete that and clean up some of this chart a little bit. So basically what we're focusing on is market momentum, and we're also looking at key levels and what kind of the interest, or what happens around these key levels. So we know here that this is a key level, and we can see loads of kind of rejections off this area. A key level for me on the higher time frames is somewhere that has got the most touches, the most points. So we can see that we broke above this key level here, we kind of retouched it, and when we did get the break finally on the 4 hour, we retested it, and then we continued to go up until we wiped out this this liquidity up here. Now we're going to move to what's happening currently, and we're going to move to the 15-minute time frame. Now we had this bullish move to the upside on this pair, and then we've seen it's been trending downwards afterwards, following a little bit of consolidation. So this is some higher time frame liquidity, and I know there's a lot to take into account in this, and you can simplify it. You know, you can just say, okay, well, we've got an area of support here, but this is just because I know this pair really, really well, and I've got this kind of marked out because I know where pretty much every level is, and where we get the kind of switches and momentum based off this level. But anyway, so yeah, we've got this is on the 15-minute time frame here, and we can see that we're going downwards. Okay, so what I'm looking for next is, we've seen this break, this trend line break. This has been at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I wasn't even in front of the charts then, and we've seen then this bullish move to the upside. Now when we see this move to the upside, especially this, I mean, we can look here, we've got the engulfing candle, and we can start to see from the bodies of the candle the price is slowing down as we come towards this level. There's also a lot of imbalance in the market, so usually what you want to see is a little bit more of like a retest. I mean, if we're moving up, then we want to be looking at steps, but regardless, sometimes when this pair flies, it just does continue to go up. So what I'm looking at here is, I was looking here for generally a continuation. So I was looking for a break, probably up to here, and then to come down and get the retest and get a continuation. But we didn't get that, and that's fine. You know, if you're just paying attention to the charts at that time, and you're looking at this pair, and you can be taking all of this into account, especially to be able to catch this reversal. So after we've had this move to the upside, we've seen a break on the 15-minute, but I wasn't really interested in the 15-minute. What I am interested in at that particular moment in time is what is happening on the hourly. If we break above this level on the hourly, and we have a full candle body close, then that's then when I'm interested in longs. And it just so happened to be that it also played out to be the close of the 4 hourly at this time as well. So we had 10 o'clock roll around, and unfortunately we hadn't managed to close above it on the hourly. If we had, then I was going to be looking for longs, and I should have been looking for shorts at that particular moment in time then, because if we didn't get the close on the hourly, what we're most likely to do is fill this imbalance in the market and then continue to go down. So what is signaling here that we're getting the reversal? Well, one, no close on the hourly, and 4 hourly. And then if we're not getting the close on the 4 hourly and stuff, then we can then start looking for other positions in the market, and we can start looking for shorts. Now, this is on the 15-minute. I will then go down further to the 5-minute and just have a look at what is happening there. Just really put it under the magnifying glass. That's just how I trade. I know people say stick in one time frame, but for me, my confluence is looking at the bigger picture, especially to kind of get bigger moves. Like we've got 42 pips here. So yeah, so we can see here that we've got this bottom of this bullish candle on the 15-minute. Now we then see an indecision candle, and we see that price is no longer on an uptrend because, you know, candle body's closed, it's moved up, the candle body's closed, it's moved up, candle body's closed, it's moved up, and now we start seeing, okay, around this key level, candle body's closed, and now we start seeing some bearish momentum. Now that has been engulfed, but obviously we haven't closed on the hourly yet, so we're going to be looking at this candle here, which is on the 15-minute, and then what we see is we see this candle here break below it. Now we've closed on the hourly. This is where the next candle is. Now we've closed on the hourly. Okay, we've not been able to break above that level. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at next? Well, we've not closed above it on the hourly. That's our first bit of confluence. There's indecision in the market followed by an engulfing candle, and we know that because this is the bottom of the bullish candle body, and we can see the momentum switch here by this bearish candle closing below that. Okay, brilliant. Then we've got our entry. So now we've got our entry. Now we're looking at a reversal. Where are we going to look to target? Wherever you want. This is where this is all dependent on your risk tolerance. For me, at the moment, I am just liking kind of like 3 Rs, 4 Rs. I used to go for like 10 Rs and stuff, but they're stressful to be in, especially when you're building the position up. So a nice little 4R, risking $500 or £500. That's a nice little $2,000 if it hits all the way. You can then be looking to kind of target different areas. Maybe you just want a 1R. Or maybe you're just looking to get a 2R here and be in and out of the market. This is all dependent on you, and this is just really what I'm trading at the moment, and my strategy. But yeah, then we're just looking to enter on this engulfing candle here. So we've got this indecision, we've got this close, and you know, if we look further in, and we look a little bit closer, you can see here then all this indecision in the market. We've managed to push above it. This candle has closed below this one here. The bulls have tried to push it up. Now, if we would have got a close of this 5-minute candle here above this one, then we probably would have seen a continuation of upward momentum, but we didn't. The candle could not close above it. We've then seen this engulf it, put it below the key level, and we now know that we're most likely going to see the reversal, and we can get our entry there. We can then get our entry there and then just ride it for however long you want to ride it to. We've obviously seen the bottom of this liquidity here where these candle bodies are. It's tapped out. We've not seen a candle body close above it, and now we're starting to see a little bit of a market reversal. You know, we're seeing bullish momentum continue, and yeah. So hopefully this explains things a little bit and gives you a little bit more indication. We're also going to have a look at Euro CHF, and this is just, as I say, this is really just to be able to spot how the market momentum, be able to gauge, you know, if you're going to see a reversal anytime soon or whatever. So Euro CHF is what I'm currently in. We've got to need to stop down on this. But yeah, so, and I'm just trading this on a swing trade account now. And I'm only trading head and shoulders patterns on this swing trade account because they've got such a high success rate. But yeah, so we know that this is a key level up here. I placed a limit order of which I managed to get into the trade, and now we can kind of have a look at this pair and see exactly what's going on in terms of the market. Now, I was trying to explain this to somebody this morning, where we can see momentum switches in the market just through trend lines. I know everyone, a lot of people hate them, but trend lines are reliable. I'll use Great British Pound, JPY as an example. Where is the liquidity lying here? Well, we've seen obviously a break to the downside and we saw big shorts. What most people would do is target all the way down here, or potentially even down here, but we have a higher time frame trend line, and that's where the liquidity is most likely going to lie. And look what's happened. We've tapped that trend line. We haven't gone down to here. We haven't taken this liquidity out, or this liquidity. After the head and shoulders, we've tapped that trend line. So yeah, I feel like trend lines are a strong level that need to be taken into account. And yeah, we're just going to have a look at, as I say, Euro CHF in terms of this. So obviously we've got the higher time frame entry here, and what we can see that price is trending upwards. Now, price has managed to break below this trend line, and we've started to see the buying momentum slow down. Started seeing this buying momentum slow down here. What we've also managed to create is like a higher time frame. This is on the hourly, higher time frame key level, and we can see here that this is also the case on the 4 hour. We're kind of, when we do get the close above it, then price is pushed up, and we're not getting any closes below it. But what we are also seeing here, this is just by reading candlestick bodies, is we're seeing indecision in the market. Price is not trending one way or another. We're seeing no closes, or no closes above, no closes below. But what we're starting to see here is now a bit of bearish momentum, and a few things are telling us this. We've got this trend line that has broken, so buyers are now weakening. We've now got a completely different angle, so we can start to see, okay, well, the momentum is starting to slow down. And then what we see is a indecision candle on the hourly, followed by an engulfing candle. So we know that the momentum is we're hopefully going to get a big switch in momentum to be able to continue and stay in the trade. We are also seeing like a little bit of a head and shoulders here on the hourly as well, but it's, unless we get a break and a retest of this level, I will not add another position to it. I may add another position if we get a proper break and retest. But yeah, just having a look here, and this is how you can spot your kind of entries for scalping on the higher time frames. We see obviously this switch in momentum, and then we're starting to see that this trend line is acting as a form of resistance, and price is not able to break above it. We see this indecision here in the market, where price has bearish momentum's engulfed it. It's tried testing this level. We've got a bit of indecision. Buyers have tried to take advantage of it. Sellers have then engulfed it, and now we could look for a continued move down there, and we could look for even a possible entry kind of above those highs or whatever. But it depends what you're looking at. As I say, this is all just to take into account reading price action, and hopefully it helps you guys out in your trading, especially with some of the daytime positions. Then what we see some indecision here. This is really what we're looking at. We're really looking for a doji candle that tells us some proper indecision, and then we see a real big close below this level. Now this is showing some real volume here, and then we see price continue just to break down and retest this key level. Now, what for me, what is kind of critical to ensuring the momentum continues, and this is where you can kind of look at potential exits, is if we saw price kind of close on this candle above this level, we would probably see it engulf and then see some further indecision, but price just hasn't been able to. Really big volume on this, not big buying volume back, and now we're just starting to see price slowly move to the downside. It's going to be a bit of a hard trade. We're just waiting on jolts today, so that's why we see a lot of indecision we're seeing a lot of indecision in the market. It is what it is. After jolts, then we'll probably be able to get some positions. But yeah, hopefully this gives you a little bit of an explanation and helps you guys just a little bit more with your trading. I mean, as you can see here, we've obviously had this engulfing, and we can start to see that this is forming a neckline for just this target here, but price is really not able to close below it on the hourly. So how many minutes left of this? 20 minutes left. So hopefully we get a close below this level on the hourly, and we see some big bearish sticks following afterwards, and we can just get this nice little swing on this head and shoulders. But yeah, as I say, hopefully this has given you some insight in just being able to spot momentum, looking at what price is exactly doing at the key level using the higher time frames and candle bodies and stuff like that, and hopefully that will help you out in your day trading if you do trade key levels or whatever.